G'day, Andrew Parsons here from Microsoft. Hey, I'm here in one of the conference rooms we have here at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. And I just wanted to talk to you about why Microsoft actually does this, why GameStack actually comes to events, and what you can talk to us about. You know, one of the things we did when we created the whole GameStack library was to repivot everything that we do around the developer, around you rather than us. And so for that reason, we sort of went back to the drawing board, and instead of looking at products, we actually looked at scenarios that developers face. And then when we looked at those scenarios, we were like, what could we do? What could Microsoft do to help you in those areas? In some areas we can't, but in a lot of areas we can, because we just have such a wide range of products and tools and services that can actually help you out. And so when we decided to do that, and we discovered those things, we realized that we needed to be able to communicate those, but also more importantly hear from you about which of those scenarios are most important, and hear from you the types of things that you face that maybe we haven't even thought of. And so we decided that going to developer events like Gamescom or GDC would give us that opportunity to actually sit down with you and hear about your problems firsthand, the wins that you have, the things you get excited about, but also the frustrations you have with whatever products you use, so that we can actually sort of talk through with you and learn. You know, we really want to learn. We really want to make sure that what we do actually makes sense for you. And so here at Gamescom itself, we've actually collected a group of people around Xbox, Windows, Azure, PlayFab, App Center, HoloLens, and all of these people are here. They're experts in their own areas, and they're here to talk to you about your games that you're creating and the opportunities you might have to be able to use those products to be more efficient at coding, more creative with your vision, and just be able to produce a better product. And so at Gamescom, we've got those teams. We have the ability for you to come up to our booth and actually just request a meeting, and we have a bunch of different great areas here, from lounges to tables to private meeting rooms if you want to have a bit more of a quiet discussion, to be able to just chat about your game, about what you're doing and where you're headed. And with that ability for us to actually sort of turn around and actually focus on you, it just gives us that freedom to be able to talk to you about what you want, what you need. And we've actually had quite a few discussions yesterday on day one of Gamescom, where we thought when you came in for a particular meeting, it was about a particular topic, and giving us that chance to have a one-on-one or one-on-two face-to-face meeting allowed us to dig deeper into what you were trying to talk about, and actually course correct what we were talking about, and it really helped us a lot. And we have this new architecture of how we talk about all of the different things that we can do, developer tools, back-end services, analytics and insights, and business success. And within those we have 16 different sort of categories of things, from coding to content to live ops to monetization, etc., that gives you a chance to sort of dive through all those things, look at the different scenarios and say that's the one that's of interest to you, or that's the problem that you're trying to solve for. And then that gives us the ability to be able to match you with the right person. And we definitely had that happen a number of times yesterday, where one of us actually was able to introduce you to someone else who was then able to help you with a particular problem that we didn't even sort of envisage when we started the conversation with you, or nor did you. So that was fantastic. And hearing from you actually allows us to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong at Microsoft for game developers. And that's so critical for us, because we really want to make sure that our team, who basically represent Microsoft, are 100% your voice, your advocates into the company. And to do that, we need to actually meet with you. We need to actually have that ability to interact with you, hear what you say, and definitely take those problems back. And that's one of my commitments personally, is that anything I hear when I talk with people, I go back to the relevant teams within Microsoft, whether they be engineering or otherwise, and just really make sure that feedback is heard. And so that's the kind of things that we do. And while other conferences we're at, we also do a lot of education. At DevCom just this weekend, we had a number of fantastic talks around things like the psychology of live ops and how to do hyperscale with the cloud, and even a great deep dive into using the spatial sound platform that we have in combination with Dolby to actually create rich audio experiences in your game. And we have those at most conferences. This particular conference at Gamescom, we're really focused on those meetings, that face-to-face opportunity for us and for you to meet and talk about your game and talk about what GameStack does. With GameStack itself, as I mentioned, it has this wide range of different technologies and services, and we are really proud of what Microsoft has done over the decades of being involved in the games industry, and one of the things we sort of missed was the ability to be able to articulate just how broad that actually offering is. And so, as I talked about earlier, having that stuff from developer tools all the way through to business success, and giving you tools and support for every step of your journey is something that I believe only a company like Microsoft can actually give you, and certainly being able to leverage those different tools in the particular format that you need, and not be sort of forced into sort of a package deal or a constraint on anything particular, gives you the ability to be the creator that you want to be without being forced by a particular company to do something that you don't want to do. And as an example of that, we're super committed to giving you the ability to create games wherever you want to create them. And so when you look at products like GitHub and Visual Studio Code that give you the ability to code on Linux, code on Mac, and have your repos for whatever kind of projects you're working on in Git, give you that ability to really just develop where you are. And then things like Havoc and Simplygon and even our PlayFab infrastructure give you the ability to use these tools and services regardless of what platform you're targeting to. So if you're building for mobile or another platform, you can totally use these products and services. Visual Studio are all things that give you that ability. And then of course Azure is underpinning all of that. The fact that Azure, apologies for the little bit of construction noise in the background, Azure is the cloud infrastructure that ties it all together and gives you the ability to do really magical things from basic stuff like cloud storage to some really in-depth things like we have a demo here at Gamescom that shows you how to capture every player event in your game up into the cloud, and then bring that back down and visualize that in your game engine. Let's say you've got Unreal or Unity, you can actually see where the player was and where they were facing at every single frame and every single point in the game, so that you could actually then analyze, hey, there was a frame rate drop at this point, for example. You can go look at that particular point, get the player data, see where they are in the map, see where they're looking, and in your engine you can actually look at it yourself and say, okay, maybe I need to do some more clipping here, maybe I need to do some more occlusion there, and actually figure out what to do with your game optimization based on this real-time player data that you're getting through the power of the cloud. And that's just one example of a demo that we've got here that we love to sort of talk through, because it shows just how you can actually integrate a whole number of different things. And you heard me talk about it was Unreal and Unity. We have both engines here as part of the demo, and it just shows we want to make sure we're trying to democratize game development as much as possible. We want to make it accessible. We want to make it easy. We want to make it efficient. We want to make it powerful. And to do that, we need to have great partners. And that's certainly one of the things we're doing here. So that's just a quick summary of why we do conferences like Gamescom and GDC, what GameStack is all about, and some of the things you might see when you come to an event like this. I really invite you to come down. If you are here at Gamescom, please come and say hi. If you're not, look out for the next event that a GameStack team is at. We're actually going to be at Unite Copenhagen next month, but look for other events. Keep an eye on our social channel. It's on Twitter, it's MSFT GameStack. And we also have a YouTube channel as well where we actually post up talks and other educational material as well as information. So check out all of those things. Keep an eye out and please come and say hi, and I'll see you next time. Bye.